Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. And this one we're doing a spooky edition.
Today is spooky day, guys. In honor of the month, we are now doing a spooky session. It is our
And our cameraman is just stumped.
because this is something we did not tell him about. So we are October babies, and October is a month of Halloween. And with Halloween comes ghost stories and spooky stories.
Everything terrifying.
Everything under the sun. We are going to be talking about I would say, not the underworld. That's like dot. What's the word? The
upside down of life.
The other side of life.
Yes.
Something
the other side of death.
Yeah, ghosts. So let's start.
Which is going to talk about.
Yeah, you'll see what we talk about.
Okay.
Disclaimer, we are not drunk.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know. I feel like I'm scared to say no. But
I'm going to prove you wrong.
That
is true.
I am a little scared about that. I'm a little scared about that. But I mean, I've personally had no experiences.
Good. I just had one a couple days ago. That just... Yeah. I just embarked on an entire journey.
See, that so first you state your story. What happened to you?
So this is a couple of days ago. So I was sleeping in the dark.
Yes, because we all sleep in bright daylight.
So I was sleeping, and in the middle of the night, so I have a bathroom attached to my room, and my bathroom is not directly like in the room. There's like a corridor, and then there's the washroom, and the washroom kind of goes like that. So you enter it, and then you go that way. Okay, so that end of the washroom is the darkest part in the entire house, simply because it's a washroom without any windows, and also because there's no way light would go in unless I switch on either the corridor light or the bathroom light. So it's typically in darkness in the middle of the night. So I was sleeping, and my door was a little open.
The toilet door.
No, not my toilet door. My bedroom door was open, but everyone was sleeping. So anyway, so I wanted to pee. So I go to the washroom, and I'm peeing, and I look to my right side, at the extreme side where the shower cubicle is. It's glowing in blue light. And I'm mid-peeing. I can't get up and run either. And I'm just like, please stop peeing. Please stop peeing. And I'm begging myself to bring in some kind of control. It's not happening. So then I just like close my eyes and I say some prayer that I know. And suddenly it just goes away. The light goes away and it's pitch darkness. And that scared me even more, because what if it's behind me or something? And I'm panicking. I'm dying. Oh my God. And that pee was the longest piss I've ever taken in my entire life. And it was finally over. And then I just ran to my mom's room and slept with her. But that was terrifying.
And you think it's a ghost?
I don't know what it was. And I don't want to venture into what
you
that was.
You think like the ghosts are getting like cool and hip, so they have a glow in the light, dark shoes or something?
I have no idea what that was.
Like the whole cubicle was glowing, or like something in the cubicle?
No, the cubicle was...
The whole cubicle?
Yeah, it was terrifying because there's no light on in my room at all. My computer's off. I didn't even take my phone to the washroom. It's all switched off, complete pitch darkness. And I have no idea where the blue light came from. And the next day, like, I sent you guys a video of the entire, like, how did light just reach here? And I have no idea. I have no idea what just happened. Oh my God. So until then, I've never experienced anything. So that was the first time.
And that is quite interesting. So before that,
I hope that's the last time.
So before that, you didn't believe it, or you believe, but like...
I still don't know what it is. I never pondered too much on this, like, are there ghosts or anything. So I've never really found an answer to it.
For me, the thing with ghost stories, okay, fine, now, again, this is like a random thing that happened. It could be, could not be, who knows. But I feel like the weird part why I don't... Like, I'm skeptical is because... Every time someone tells a ghost story, it's like, this happened to my friends, neighbors, first cousins, doctor. You know, it's never like, it happened to me. Or like, happened to my friend.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I was just like, okay, so obviously. But I know a lot of people who do, like, a lot of my friends do believe in ghosts. But anyways, experience ghosts, whatever. I feel like we say ghosts for things that we think will harm us. I think that's what we say ghosts. But ideally, they're all just spirits. But I don't know, it's weird. So I recently heard a very spooky story, which was, again, it wasn't not like a 10 million connection thing. It was like one of my best friends, her colleague at work. Okay, so she told me like, oh, I spoke to my colleague about this, and then she told me the whole story. It's a very bad time to tell me though, because it was like in the middle of the night and I was going home, and then I live alone. So I was just like, I didn't need to know this, okay? And she told me like, oh, are you going to be scared? If you are, then I'm not going to tell you. And I was like, nah, it's fine. I'll deal with it. It's okay. And she told me the story. And this story is a little spooky. So in Abu Dhabi, there's an area called, okay, it's kind of like next to the airport. And
You okay there?
you want to go away? It's okay. You live with people and God will protect you and your parents will protect you and your sister's in the other room. Everything's going to be fine. This isn't even spook. It's just weird. It's not even scary. Oh boy. Okay, yeah. So now basically she lives in it's kind of like a very lonely area in Abu Dhabi, and it's kind of like it's just deserted basically. So she lives in that area. So people generally talk like, because we city people, we're like, haha, there's ghosts there, and like, you know, like random super shit like that. And then so apparently this girl at work, she lives in. So my friend, simply to just make conversation with her, was just like, let's call her Aisha, example. Like, he's like, Aisha, listen, is there ghosts? Are there ghosts? Do you have ghosts in your house? Something like that she said. And she's like joke like casual, and she's like, yeah, actually I have a ghost in my house. Okay, and the entire office apparently was like, what? Like, you know, that was just like a casual, very sudden conversation. And then my friend's like, what do you mean you have a ghost in your house? She's like, yeah, I have a ghost in my house. It's a girl. I know that there's a ghost in the house. And then she explains this, and it is so bizarre because this girl is saying with a very straightforward face, and she's explaining multiple incidents. And she's like, yeah, there's a ghost in my house. I know, I'm aware of it. My family's aware of it. The maid is aware of it. Everybody knows that there's a ghost in the house. And then I'll tell you the instances now of the story. So apparently it's a girl ghost, which I don't know how they know, because once apparently, and this ghost, how they know it's a girl ghost, because apparently you can see a shadow. And in the shadow, you can see like hair or whatever and stuff. So that's how they know it's a girl ghost, okay? But like not a small girl, but like not an old lady either. It's not a creepy age. That's all I can tell you, okay? You spoke?
No, not at all.
I asked you before. You said, no, tell story. It's okay. But yeah, anyways, this has been a couple of weeks. I just didn't tell you guys because, well, I don't want to spook you all, but I'm over the spook now. Maybe I can get re-spooked now. Anywho, so now what she said was, she was like, yeah, I've seen it. I've noticed this with my own eyes. So has multiple people in the house. And then everyone in the office is like, what on earth are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, apparently apparently this ghost seems to be very possessive of her. This Aisha chick. She seems very possessive of her. That's what she's understood so far.
Is she married?
She's not married. I'll get to that. So she lives with her parents and she has her own room and stuff. So she feels like the ghost is always with her. She feels like, and then they were like, so then they asked her like, no, what do you feel like, you know, when you leave the house, does it come with you? Because you're in the office with them. I don't want to take it home. Okay, she's like, no, it just stays in the house, doesn't come out of the house. Like that much I'm aware. Like I don't feel the presence or whatever after that. Very calm, very casual conversation. Like she's not scared of it because it's not harming anybody. She's like, it's not harming anybody, it's just there. Yet. But I'm just like, this is not like some kind of fruit fly. You're like, chalo, it's there, doesn't matter. Like, you know, you just can't be okay with it, but whatever. And so now these are the weird spooky incidents that have happened. So she's like, when her best friend came to visit, her best friend's like a girl as well. Like she came to stay over. And in the middle of the night, they were both sleeping.
Should we sit all, let's put like a torch here and have it like a campfire?
But unfortunately, there's too much daylight for this. But yeah, so then what happens, like, she's like, example, now Aisha's friend came over to stay with her. And Aisha's friend is also kind of aware. I think she tells people apparently, because like, you know, it's just like, don't be surprised or whatever kind of thing, which is weird. But okay. And Aisha's friend came over in the middle of the night, they were both sleeping, and they felt like there was someone walking in the room.
Oh my God. Okay, and then?
They were walking in the room, okay? And Aisha was like, and Aisha thought, okay, it's my friend. She's walking in the middle of the night for whatever reason. She thought it was Aisha. They both kind of ignored her for a bit. Then suddenly they're like, why the hell are they walking? And so they both kind of got up, and then they were like, did you get up? And they're like, no. And then the moment they get up and stuff, they realize like it stopped. So then they realize, oh, it's probably this ghost. Okay. That's what they inferred or concluded from that. Then apparently another time that they were both watching TV, and there was like, they have like a revolving chair that kept turning suddenly out of nowhere. Nobody sat on nothing, it started moving by itself. And apparently this kept happening, and then Aisha's friend got very angry. She said, stop it right now. She was screaming. The moment she yelled and said, stop it, it stopped. Okay, so then what happened after that was like, then I think the ghost person kind of got okay with Aisha's friend because she was not like, she's like possessive of Aisha is what she's telling. So she's like, when someone comes home and they're my friend and stuff like that, she doesn't like it. The ghost doesn't like that they're possessive or whatever.
So Aisha said stop it.
Aisha's friend said stop it. Aisha got pissed and just like told her to stop it.
And the ghost didn't get pissed off.
Apparently not. That's why it's harmless. It doesn't do anything. It's just there. That's why they're not doing any any holy thing to get rid of it or anything and stuff. But they do know that it's going to be a problem for when Aisha has to get married. She's like, that is going to be a problem because she's like, I feel that by then it's going to be an issue, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. The whole plan is very cash about it, which is what I was like, this is so spooky. And
what if Aisha is the ghost?
Oh, that's a very good thought. Actually, she's in the off. Anyways, this happened. Then there are like small incidents that have kept happening like this and stuff. That's how the whole thing has happened. But the main ones have been this. Then even her mom and dad, they all are aware of this apparently. And then my friend was like, okay. And then they're like, was this in this house? Like, did you not bless the house before you moved? And this and that, not. And like, is it in this house? And she's like, yeah, it's this house. And they're like, okay. And then she's like, yeah, we noticed and we moved in, but whatever. Then she's like, actually, no, it's not this house. It was there in my previous house also. So that's how they realized that this ghost is following her. House to house. But not like work, mall, none of that. Just house. So it's just like, I think I don't know what their theory is as a family, but I told my friend to go to a house for like iftar or like some kind of thing to just find out. She's like, yeah, but I don't want to go alone. What if it comes with me home? And then we joked about it for a bit. But it was a very elaborate thing. And this was not like someone ka story. Yeah, this was like my friend's colleague. And she told me and I was like, that is really strange. And yeah. So she just like has a best friend ghost that she has at home. And like when new people come in, she gets a little like threatened or scared, but then she's fine after that. But like no harm, nothing. Everybody's aware of it. They're just like, it's okay. It's just probably like the spirit of somebody from their like families or they think. So like, I think that's a comfort they live with. Because I know there's a lot of people like this. Like even one of my best friends, when her grandma passed away, she could sense her grandma in the house for a very long time. And she was not spooked about it because she was like, it's okay. It's just my grandma in the house, it's okay. And she's kind of okay with the idea of it.
I've like once, like I was just lying on bed and it was my old house, okay? It was a hanging kind of like a mini chandelier in the room, okay? It was a light that was hanging, suspended light. And anyways, I remember I thought of my aunt and the whole thing just started vibrating. But then we found out there was an earthquake. It's very spooky. My God.
There are like spooky things. Like I've heard a lot of these stories, but honestly right now I can't remember. Because like when someone tells you a ghost story, I feel like I think of it until I can think of a solution of why that happened, And mostly what I do is I tell my mom. My mom is very intrigued by ghost stories because she doesn't believe in it. She's full-fledged does not believe. And she feels like every time you hear a story, it's always someone's never directly. She's like, if there's so many ghosts in the world, why is nobody I personally know have to deal with it? So she always like, when you hear about haunted mansions, and she always wants to go live there. She's like, come, Aisha, let's go live there for a day. I'm like, no. Like, you want to go do this? I'm like, I'm skeptical. I live my skeptical life, I don't need to go prove it. I'm fine with neither nor, But she wants to know. So I came home and I heard a story and told my mom, I had a very spooky story today and I told her the entire story and she was just like, the shadow seems nonsense. Must be her second shadow. There must be two lights in the toilet, secondary shadow follows. Then the chair thing, she like, must be the air, like some fan or wind. Maybe this chair was already moving. Maybe it was not spinning like they're saying. She's like, simply they're joking. You don't believe all of this. And then I was like, okay. That's it. My mom's like completely invalidated my feeling, gaslit me and told me go home. And that's how I got over this.
When I joined my other college, when you get that welcome booklet, and then there was this like Q&A kind of a thing. And they were like, don't be surprised if you find a ghost in your amidst. We have a friendly ghost called Abdullah. That was like the second. And then the entire conversation was just talking about him. And then like, I never personally explained there was a terrace named after him and stuff. So on
terrorist.
On a terrace, okay. Because that's where like anyways he became a ghost and all of that. So I don't want to say something and trigger people. So that's why I just like that's why he became a ghost.
Like a graduation ceremony. Okay. To the afterlife. That's what I was looking for.
Afterlife,
Okay.
But I've had over my course there, I've had like a lot of seniors talk about their incident.
Anything you can recall?
There was one where the four of them, so we stayed back a lot in college and sometimes we used to even stay over, especially during fests and all of that to work on, we build our own fests and stuff. So, anyway, so they were all drunk and they were sleeping in a studio or something. And I think one of them felt like they saw him, something like that. I don't remember exactly. Again, this is a senior who told someone else who
That's what it
told
was.
me.
That's
So
why.
I do not know. But he's called the friendly ghost. So
I feel like I don't hear of any, like, again,
Yeah.
they always say, like, even if there are ghosts, it's always just like mischievous things. It's never like scary, like how they show on TV. I feel like that fear is just added by music. If you ever watch a scary
maybe
movie,
anyone who's actually witnessed that is dead. And they just never told us. We never just-
I'm trying to lighten the mood here. But no, I mean, I don't think so. I feel like the reason why my mom always tells me, like, when she watches scary movies also, she feels like if she gets really spooked, she puts the volume off. Because volume is like this, the whole fear is in the volume of it, you know, like
Yeah.
the sound effect is everything. But, and that's why they always show it in that. And especially in Indian movies, it's so dumb. It's like some white dress and they're running around here and there's this anklet and so much is happening. But I think in reality, if the spirits and everything that people do feel or know of are all very like harmless. Mostly like they believe it's just family
my
members.
parents don't really discuss ghosts or anything. Like, I've also never brought it up, so I don't really know if they believe in it or anything. Like, I don't know.
I feel like my grandma, I believe that, you know, with good there has to be bad. So that way, of course, there has to be something, you know. But my grandma believes, I think, but that's because I think like religiously we do believe, like, you know, like Atma, and like, you know, they didn't get Shanti, so they're roaming around and stuff like that and all. But nothing that is, like, I know like a lot of like Goa, I know a lot of my Goan friends who have a lot of like ghost stories that are like they are like this happened and this happened and all. But again, it's very region specific. Like they
Have
all
you
of them
ever
have.
downloaded, like, you know, there's these apps and stuff that show like ghost detector apps? Have you downloaded it?
No, because I didn't want to detect. I told you I'm
Dude,
skeptical.
I was
I'm
so
trying to
stupid. So, like,
find.
my friend came and stayed over at home, okay? And okay, so before all of this, so I do not like darkness in general. I don't like being alone in the dark in general. So at home, I'll either like leave the door a little open so that maybe so I'll sleep before my parents sleep. So the hall has a light and that'll come into the room when I'm about to sleep. And then after I'm asleep only, they'll switch it off. Yeah. So that's how we generally, and my dad wakes up like really early to work and stuff. So like even when I wake up, when it's dark, there's still some light. So that's how I always put myself at peace. And that actually came from the fact that I was like having a conversation with this uncle and like I mentioned something about ghosts or something. And he said, see, I think he was just trying to calm me down. He was like, see, Dubai can't have ghosts. And I was like, what? Why? And he's like, think about it this way. Ghosts will exist where there's complete darkness. Dubai, everywhere there's light. There's no way they would exist. But the problem with that was that made me think. So any washroom without a window, when you close it, and even like there's that whole, it's completely sealed. There's no way any light would get in. So that means the washrooms without windows will definitely have a ghost.
It was the only place they can hide.
Huh?
Like, was the only place they can exist.
They're like, they have to be in Dubai, but there's light everywhere. Where can we hide? So they go right into the washroom.
They go around, they have like a dubisil and like a property finder for ghosts, like which toilets have no lights to hide
and
in.
I think what the craziest thing about that is, so he said all that. I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. And then like a couple of months later, something, my friend came home and we were staying at home, like simply chilling. And we were alone. It was just the two of us. And I don't know who had the dumb idea, but to download the ghost detector app. And in that entire house, there were 3 washrooms, okay? One had a window. The other one was like, it I think had a window too. I don't know. Something was up with that. No, I think we had 2 washrooms. But anyways, there was just one washroom that was in complete darkness. Okay? And this one washroom was closed that day. I mean, you always keep the washroom doors closed, right? And we downloaded this app. And it was like silence, no ghost. I was like, oh yeah, and stuff. And suddenly, like, I just got up with the iPad for something and started beeping like crazy. And this one is right next to the hall. And then I was just like trying to move it around. It started beeping like crazy in front of that door. And I tried with every other room. It was silent. Just in front of that darkest washroom without any window, nothing. It was beeping. Like, oh my God.
Was this a paid app?
No, it was free.
Maybe it's a glitch.
I hope so too. But yeah, I've had like...
Where's this house?
In...
We don't go there. Don't matter. But yeah, it's okay.
But no, that made me think like washrooms without windows.
That's probably why your fear of this toilet thing came as well. Like, I'm not saying that you
No, but this
imagine
is when I was like 10 years old. I completely forgot about it. And then after I saw the glowy thing, I was like trying to read that. I was like, it was in complete darkness. It makes sense. It was always there. And like, that's how I remember this incident.
So you're telling me when you put the light on, the ghost vanishes?
I don't know. I didn't go back there for a long time.
Your toilet?
Yeah. I was sleeping in my parents' room and using their washroom. And then when he told me to like send a video recording of it, that's when I entered that room that
But
day.
now where are
Now
you?
I go.
Ah.
Yeah, it probably went. When I prayed, it went away.
But
I don't know.
Any other ghost stories that... What's your favorite like horror movie to watch?
I actually love watching horror movies, but I don't watch it alone.
Yeah, it's not fun alone.
Yeah, I watch it with my friends. I generally love the jump scares part of it. But the only problem is when I know it's a horror movie, I keep anticipating a jump scare and I scream at everything. I remember my friends still tease me about, like, in the beginning, the toaster just went like, click, and I just like lost my shit. I toppled the glass. I was screaming. It was horrible. But yeah, aside from that, it's fun.
For me, I feel like I don't like horror ghost. I like horror that like have you seen When a Stranger Calls?
Oh, creepy.
That was so spooky, that movie.
So it's not ghost, it's like thriller kind of a thing.
Yeah, that really scares me. And have you watched Nightmare on Elm Street?
I'm not sure. It's a very famous movie. That's why I feel like I have, but I don't know.
It's like
actually.
the
Probably not.
The spirit or whatever attacks you when you're sleeping, so you can't sleep the entire movie. So everyone's trying not to sleep. If you sleep, you'll die. And it's a pretty cool concept.
What was that movie where like the sister was a ghost? Oh, I just gave the climax. Don't watch it.
It's okay, I'm not gonna watch it, huh? No, sister's a ghost. Oh, he thought sister.
Oh, no.
Blood sister,
Sibling
blood
sister. Sibling
not
sister.
nun sister.
Yeah, but
no, I don't know.
Yeah, but I need company to watch.
Yeah, I feel like the only have you watched a horror movie in the theater?
Yes.
What did you watch?
I've watched Insidious. I've watched
I would not watch.
Oh,
I watched The Nun.
It's funny though in the theater because everyone screams and then everyone just laughs and then you watch some people like run out of the theater. It's an entire.
I remember when The Nun was playing, there was someone dressed like the nun walking in the theaters as like a promo in Walks, I think.
God. Dude, we should go to that haunted house horror movie setting, right, Jeremy?
It'll be cameraman, Jeremy. You have to go.
And we'll add that as this thing to it.
We'll think of it. How much is it? We'll find out.
150.
150 to lose shit. My pants seems unnecessary. But no, we'll see. For me, I watched The Nun in this thing. I don't even know why I went. My friend's just like, no, let's go. And my friend, like, he was like, okay, let's go. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit next to you then. And it was a big mistake because he's the kind of guy who like with the movie during so you're watching it and so thing with jump scares, you can always anticipate, like the music stops, like it slows down, so now you know it's gonna happen. That's how a sound effect. So I always know the voice like sound goes down, that there's a jump scare coming up. So there's one scene in The Nun where the jump scare, the volume lowers for a very long time and then it goes silent, so that it becomes such a loud you can't anticipate anymore because the time that you have expected has passed. But what I used to do is the entire time I was watching a movie, I unnecessarily scream in my ear to freak me out. Okay, you would unnecessarily keep doing it. Okay, yeah, and I was just like keep jumping. I'm like, oh my god. So for this scene, I was anticipating, and then I was just like, oh shit, now I don't know where it is. And I'm kind of freaking out now because I'm like, when will it be, you know? And then he immediately hits me. So I didn't scream, I just like did this and immediately the jump scare came.
Oh my
so
god.
thankfully, because he did that, the jump scare didn't scare me because I was already
I thought you got a double scare.
No, I just got like the shock just went to it because I think he thought that he will do it and the timing would be perfect according to him is what I think. But that was the only movie we went for and it wasn't really scary because I watched it with them, but we didn't laugh or anything. It was just him annoying us the whole time, which was the funny part. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like to go. I'm not a big fan of watching horror movies purely because when I was younger, also I would get scared, and I was home alone for a very long time of my life. Like, I mean, not home alone.
Yeah. Oh, I used to stay at home alone when my parents are working. My god,
it's too difficult.
It is terrifying.
There was once when I was home alone when I was a kid. My mom and dad have this thing. So what they would do is when they go out, like even if I'm like if they have to go for work, whatever, my mom did shifts, my dad worked in Dubai, so they had to keep jumping around, and whenever they would leave, they would either wake me up. I would be like, please wake me up, because I used to get scared to wake up in a house there's nobody around, to like walk around and see that nobody's there. So my mom, I had this habit, two stories. One was my mom would wake me up in the morning, so I would brush my teeth, take all the food I would need to eat in the day, and sit in the living room, lock the living room, and just sit there. Okay, and if I go to the toilet, I would call my mom and keep her on the phone and like look
I've
around.
done that too.
Yeah, I would look at the corridor and all. Then until I'm in the toilet, I'm done peeing, and I would come back and then I would lock the door. So that's how I would survive. Like sometimes the fear would go. Some days I would not be so scared, but most days I would be.
Yeah.
Especially during summer vacations. That's like 2 months just sitting at home, right? So once what happens is my mom and dad both forgot to wake me up in the morning. They left for work. So I woke up like some 10 o'clock in the morning. And I was in bed, okay, and I could not know what time it is. And I think I was like maybe like 8 or 9 years old. And I'm screaming like, Amma, Acha, like loudly, but no one's picking up, right? And then this was like 10 in the morning. They come home by like 5 or 6, right? I just stayed in bed the entire day just because I was so scared to get out of the room. And the door room was also open. So I'm just like so paranoid, like, someone can come, anything can happen. But I was just in bed because I was just so scared to get up and go. And my parents came home and they're like, why are you still in bed? And I was like, I was too scared to get up and go to the living room. And then they're like, okay, fine, we'll make sure to remember. Like, they've always remembered. But second time what happened was I was sitting in the living room and I was like little more bigger. So I'm like, I'm brave now. So I kept the living room door open. Okay, so my layout was such that I'm at the end of the room. Like, example, this is where I am. The living room door is over there. Okay, it opens that way. And the TV is over there. Okay, so, and we have a toilet on this side, parallel to the toilet. Like, toilet entrance separately, but there's a toilet over here. So, if you put the light on the toilet, it'll reflect on the door, like how it is on the cupboard door right now. So, my dad had gone. And my parents also have a thing that when they come home, they're like, Aishu, we're home. Like, I'm home. So, I'm aware someone came and, like, not random door opening, right? So, I was watching TV and I could see the door and I could see, like, a toilet light. I didn't go to the toilet. The light's not on. It's like 5:36 in the evening. And I'm like, what the hell, okay? And my mom and dad were going to be very late that day. So I was like, oh my God, who put the toilet light on? And I'm just sitting there. I'm looking at the TV and I'm freaking out because I can see the toilet light on. I didn't hear the door open or close. So I'm like, shit, someone's in the house. And then I can see like a silhouette of a person in the door ka reflection thing. And I'm freaking my fuck out because I'm like, there's no way that I can run and close the door before that person can get in. The timing will not work. So I'm like, how do I go close the door? And I'm just like, that's it. I just have to blend into the sofa. So I take my blanket and I cover myself. Augie and the cockroach is playing on TV. And I'm just like sitting underneath. I'm like not even breathing because I'm like, I don't want them to know. Like, when you're kids, you think you close your eyes, everything's fine, right? I was just in that whole thing. And then I took the phone and I called my mom like 5-10 minutes later. And I was like, after that I checked from like the corner of my eye and there was no silhouette. So I called my mom. I was like, Mama, someone was in the house. And I was like full-fledged freaking out, okay? Mom was like, what are you saying? I'm like, I saw someone was there. Toilet was on, it's all off, and I don't know what it is. I'm like, Acha's not home. I don't know where he is, and this and that. And then my mom's like, okay. Then my mom called my dad, okay. And then my dad calls me. He's like, hello. And he's like, Aishu, I'm so sorry. It was me. And I was like,
what?
I'm like, what are you saying? And he's like, I came home. He's like, I was between two meetings, but I really wanted to come home. And he's like, I came home to take something, so I went to the washroom. But I didn't, like, I was such a rush. I didn't say I'm home. Neither did I come say hi. And I think he didn't close the door. That he just came to take something. He went to the washroom quickly.
Do you think your parents said that to make you feel better?
No, it was him because he told me I'll be back in like 5-6 minutes anyway because he was just going somewhere else in the area. And then he just quickly came to use the washroom basically. And then he went and he just didn't tell me.
So he didn't see you snuggled up in a blanket on
He
the
didn't
bed?
come to the living room. Like our layout such that he didn't come in to check on me. He just went to the toilet. And I think maybe in the TV volume, I didn't really see the door open or close or hear any of it. And I was just like, then I was like, okay, time to go back to closing the damn door and living my life. But yeah.
I always had to keep the TV on when I was alone at home or music because like, so I can blame all the noises on that as well. Because like when you're sitting in complete silence, I don't know how you just end up hearing so many noises. And like my friends have told me it's like like when I was younger, I think someone told me it was like the pipes of the house and all of that that's
makes
creaking.
Sense. Yeah.
But I don't know, dude. I always needed TV or something.
It was really, really spooky. But like that
spook you guys out.
But yeah, tell us your spookiest stories. Tell us your ghost stories. Tell us if you have any. Please don't tell me brothers, cousins, neighbors, daughters, friend in school.
I'll still be entertained.
Okay, fine. But I want to hear a true story that has happened to you or someone you're like directly.
Contact, yeah.
But let us know in the comment section below what your experience with this has been. But happy spooky month, you guys. Hope you guys have a great Halloween. And that's it. Please check out our Instagram, our TikToks. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. And that's pretty much it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye.